Howdy folks, Darren back with you, Cross Timbers Farm. Welcome to Agri-Chronicles. Glad to have you with us today. We're in the test plot, day number 4 of our dry down. This August, mid to late August of 2024, this has been the best weather. Not the very best for dry down for hay, but as far as being out doors and doing things around the farm, man, this is the day the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. It has been fantastic weather to be outside working. The last couple of days we have done some bush hogging around the farm, places on our farm that the pastures are too steep to mow for hay. I've been doing some bush hogging, maintenance on those areas to keep them looking good, keep weeds from taking over, etc., etc. It's looking really good. Today is Friday. We cut this hay on Monday. This is day number 4. We cut it late Monday evening, so we don't count that day. But we cut on Monday evening, and it's now Friday about noon, and it's day number 4. The weather has been fantastic. Absolutely great weather to be outside working. Lower humidity, plentiful sunshine, a breeze every day. Not windy, but a breeze. Just been a great time to be outdoors. Kind of unusual for mid-August. Usually this time of year we're a lot hotter and a lot more humid than this, but a weather pattern has come through our area the last few days and cooled everything down from 90s down into low 70s. The lower temperatures, not the best for dry down for hay because we've had pretty heavy dews of the mornings, but to combat that, we've had lower humidity and plentiful sunshine and a breeze. Dews of the morning's been getting pretty heavy. We cut this hay on a Monday. We cut it late Monday evening where the sugars and starches would be at their highest. We tedded it out Monday evening before dark. We tedded it again Tuesday, and then nothing yesterday, but I think today's number 4, and I think I'm going to run over this hay really quickly here in a few moments with the tedder before I unhook it. The reason being just to stir this up because we got a pretty good breeze blowing today and let some air circulation really penetrate this hay. Stir it up a little bit, and after it's had about an hour of being stirred up and some wind and this beautiful sunshine on it, we're going to check it to see if we can start raking it into windrows and possibly baling this evening. Before we even get started, let's do a quick twist test to see how far along that we think this hay is. And I'm standing in a pretty heavy area of hay. It's pretty thick right here, so what better place to test it? Boy, does that not look like good hay. Listen to it. It's starting to get rattly. All right, I'm gonna thin it out just a little bit. All right, that's a pretty good. All right, I'm gonna fold it over. I'm gonna start twisting this. Do that again. That's getting close. All right, let's try one more area. Did it break? Some of it did. All of it did not. Okay, it's borderline. I think if I can ted this out, run over this field with a tedder, at a low RPM, I'm barely going to stir this stuff. I'm going to have those baskets tedding it, spinning on that tedder about as slow as they will go, just barely above idle speed, just to stir this up a little bit so some wind can penetrate it. The RPMs on the motor just barely at a above idle, just enough to keep the tractor going so it don't stall. With those tines turning, just to stir this up as gently as I can. And quite possibly, we might start raking this into windrows later this evening and baling, depending on if we keep this breeze the rest of the day. In 5 or 6 hours, this might be ready to bale. So let's get the tractor fired up, and I'm gonna tead this out real quick. I doubt I'll film that because we've already done some filming of tedding of this hay. And I'll bring you back later this afternoon to see where we stand with this hay. It's about 3 p.m. Nice day for dry down. Our temperatures has got just a little bit warmer today, but not a whole lot. It's about 80. We've been in the low 70s all week so far. We've got up to about 80 today, and a slight breeze. Tedded this hay out about 11:30, quarter till 12, something like that. Tedded it really gently. Stirred it up good, and it done a really good job. It fluffed it up. You may be able to see behind me, it's fluffed out. A breeze has been blowing through it. It's borderline. I think what we're gonna do is go ahead and rake this in windrows in anticipation of baling. This is a very small area, 2/10 of an acre, very small. And we can rake it pretty quickly. But I'm gonna take my time and rake this slowly, get it into windrows, and about 5 p.m. or so, 6 p.m., I'm gonna make one bale. Between that time, I can be hooking up my baler and my bale door wiring harness and all that stuff, and I'm gonna make one bale, and we'll test the moisture on it. If that bale is too moist, I'll unroll it, and which is not that big of a deal. When you have these 2x2 round bales, if you get one that's too moist, you can unroll them. I'll make one bale, and we'll check the moisture content on it. That's what we usually do. Matter of fact, even if that first one checks good, we'll check another area on the second bale. If it checks a little bit too high moisture content, I'll take that 2x2 bale and I'll cut that bale in twine and we'll roll it back out. I'll take my little plastic Dura-Fork, spread it back out, and we'll bale tomorrow. This hay is from the twist test, and the twisting tests is right on the line. Whether, yeah, you could probably bale or you could probably wait. We're gonna make one bale. I'm gonna go ahead and get this raked and make one bale and do an accurate test with our Agri-Tronics moisture meter and see what we got, and we'll go from there. Okay, the windrows are done. As you can see, as per usual, we're going to bale one bale. Got our moisture meter here with us, and we're going to check the moisture content of the first bale, and then we'll do another one down a little lower in the field and go from there. If it tastes good, we'll keep baling. If it don't, we'll stop and unroll and bale tomorrow. But for now, it is windrowed, and we still have a breeze and about 80 degrees, and God's good to us. We couldn't ask for anything better. So we've got the baler all hooked up, pre-oiled, all our fluids checked, wiring harness attached to our plug on the battery, routed, zip tied, everything's secure. We're ready to start baling. Of course, it's a small acreage anyway. It don't matter if I go fast or slow. We've got time to bale it, and I enjoy the baling. So unlike the raking's not my favorite part of haying. If I had to list on a favorite from out of the 4 processes of the actual baling processes of mowing or cutting, tedding, raking, and baling, probably my very favorite, I've said this before, is tedding. I enjoy tedding hay. Second would probably be mowing the hay or cutting the hay. I enjoy that. And I enjoy baling probably third, and my very least favorite, I still like it, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying it's my least favorite, is raking. I'm not a real good raker. I've seen folks that rake a lot better than me. I'm getting better every year that I rake. But even still, it's just not my favorite thing to do. I have found, your mileage may vary, I have found that if you can rake small paddocks and small areas, and you can rake nice straight windrows in those small areas and clean up the headlands and not make an absolute mess in a very small tight area, you can rake anything. A big field will be no problem to you. Matter of fact, a bigger hay field is buku's easier. If you can get in these tight quarters where you have to just keep turning and turning and backing and turning to make straight windrows, and as soon as you get going, the windrow's over. If you can make really nice rope windrows in a small paddock, you're a good raker. That's personal opinion. If you can master raking a little small area like this, a big field's no problem. You'll excel in a larger acreage field. This is 2/10 of an acre, and it's tough to rake. But it is raked, and I'm happy with the windrows. They actually look pretty good. The baler should pick them up good. I think I got them width appropriate. If the very first one tests bad, we'll probably stop and wait till tomorrow. I've done the twist test, and I think it's borderline. It is very close. I'd like to make one bale and see what it tests moisture-wise, because this is prime premium hay, and I want to keep that good moisture content. So if it's a little too much, we'll stop and I'll unroll it and we'll bale tomorrow. I do want to bale this at the prime moisture content, so I think it's really, really close. I've been wrong before. I've made a bale, checked it, and had to unroll it and come back the next day, and I don't mind doing that. That's part of making premium hay, that perfect moisture content. It's a fine line. So we're gonna get the tractor out, we're gonna run through this and make one bale. Be back with you. I'll take a guess. I bet I end up unrolling that bale. I don't know. When I stopped the tractor and got out and picked it up, it was pretty heavy, and I didn't let it just spin in the chamber. I have found with that mini round baler, if you just let it sit and spin without picking up much hay, it'll get denser and denser. I didn't do that with that one. I let it twine wrap pretty quickly when it was full, and it felt heavier than our normal density, which is an indication that it's moist. Let's go check it and make sure. Okay, boy, that is a prime looking bale of hay. Got our Agri-Tronics moisture meter. Here we go. Right square in the middle, 17.1. Okay, as long as we stay under 20, we're good. 17.7. $29.8. Not good. $18.3. 18.2. You could have just one little area that's wet, so we're going to check it a couple of times. All right, over on this edge of this bale, it's still reading 25. $15.6. Right over here on this far edge, on this side, we got a place that's a little wet. 26.5. It's borderline. It's very borderline. I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to unroll this bale right back into the windrow where I took it from, and spread it out. I kind of unpack it, fluff it out, and the tractor and the baler are put back in the barn. We're going to give it one more day. That's just the way things happen. We've not had that hot of temperatures all week. It's been super nice to be out, but not the very best temperatures for hay drying conditions, and this hay is so thick. We had to have 5 days on our main hay field about a week and a half ago for dry down, but we had 1 full day of overcasting clouds that week. This week we've not had that. We've had sun every day, but we've had temperatures down. I thought maybe 4 days would do it. I really did. It's gonna take 5. We'll come out and check it in the morning. We'll give it till noon or 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock maybe, for all the dew to get completely off of it. And I'll come out and rake around a little bit in the windrows to make sure it's dry all the way through. And we'll commence the baling then, so come back with us tomorrow.